Hello, guys, and Happy New Year. So, I actually had a different video for my first video of 2026 over on my YouTube channel, but I decided that, you know what? We're going to start from the beginning, okay? We're going to talk about my realistic writing goals and just writing goals for 2026 because listen, I had I wanted to release 7 books last year. I don't know who I thought I was when I set that goal of 7 books for last year, but it was never gonna happen. It was never gonna happen, and it only was not gonna happen because, girl, what are you talking about? Like, I did a lot of traveling last year. You guys saw. I went to Black Romance Book Fest. Okay, I went to Atlanta. I went to Georgia. I went to Virginia. I went to a lot of places last year. A lot of book events last year as an author, right? I didn't go as a reader. I was invited to or applied to go to these book events last year simply as an author. So that means I was there to work. Okay, I was there to work. And I enjoyed myself very much so last year. Y'all saw, y'all was there for a lot of these things. But again, I had to remind myself, girl, you the one I learned last year that and y'all might be like, girl, that's simple. You ain't know that. But still, I can't travel and write at the same time. Because going to book events as an author means preparing for the book events, buying your supplies, traveling, mentally preparing, being at the book events on the weekend, right? Because they're on the weekend, and then coming back, going to your 9 to 5 if you have a 9 to 5, resting from those book events. Like, it was a lot. I don't regret going outside last year. I had a grand time. I had a great time last year. Okay, I don't regret it at all. But we I only accepted 5 book events for this year that I will be attending. Um, and I'm very grateful to have been, invited to go to these places for this year. I'm sorry, I keep saying next year. It's this year. It's 2026. Happy New Year. Okay. I I really only wanted to go to 4, but I say, you know what, we can add one more in. We can do 5. It's fine. And then my book events are in quarter 2 and quarter 4. So there's 3 book events in quarter 2. Okay, 3 book events in quarter 2, 1 book event in quarter 3, and then 1 book event in quarter 4. So again, it's a lot. Now, 2 of those book events are local. I'm going to drive. 2 out of 3 are local, which is great. It's amazing, actually. But yet again, it's a lot. So, um, as far as my book events are concerned, I'll be at Chocolate Lit in the City, Black Romance Book Fest, um, Petals and Prose. Me and my author bestie Blossom, we are hosting our very first book event. So I'm hosting my first book event this year. Okay. Um, and that's why I said 4 because I'm hosting, but I will be there as an attendant author, but I'm also hosting, but whatever. And then so that's that. And then Faye and the A, which is a fantasy book event in Atlanta, Georgia in October. And then I'll be at Empire State. What is it? M is ESS. Empire State. I don't know what the other S stands for, but this is a book event hosted by Jackwell. Okay, Jackwell Jack. So I'm very excited to be outside this year. But the thing that I learned, like I said, I can't write and travel. So as far as the book event, the books that I will be releasing and writing this year, I just kind of changed my whole mentality as far as writing and releasing. Last year, I told myself, girl, write all the books that you can write, build your back catalog, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. And I will say, though though I wrote 4 books last year. Was it 4? Okay. I wrote, what's number 1? 24 Hours, Maybe I Love You, Paint Our Love. And then I wrote a Christmas book, Finding Our Way Through Christmas. So I did write, well, Finding Our Way to Christmas was actually already written. I just released it this year, but it's fine. But and then 24 Hours and Maybe I Love You, I started writing those at the end of 2024. So I started writing those at the end of 2024, and then they came out in quarter 1 of 2025. And then Paint Our Love was the book that I actually wrote from start to finish in 2025 and released. So, it was great, right? But I just don't have that mentality this year. I don't have that work hard, hustle hard mentality. The mentality that I have for this year as an author is that what's for me, it's for me. And everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine is actually my mantra. Okay. If it was the Bible verse, it would be my life verse. Everything is just fine. Everything is fine until it's not. And even if it's not, it's still fine. Okay. Because I can't control anything. I can't control anything. I just can't. The only thing that I can control is myself, right? I can't control how people will receive my books. I can't control when people will open my books. I can't control none of that. Any of it. None of it at all. So, because I can't control those things, I will be doing my best. The things that I can control, which is writing and finishing. Okay. I want to finish the Finding My Way series, book 1 and 2, Finding My Way Out of Darkness, Finding My Way to You. Finding My Way Out of Darkness was written in 2023, written and released in 2023. Finding My Way to You was written and released in 2024. We did not write anything for that series last year. So this year, I want to finish that series. Asha and Levi, their story will be written this year, will be released because it's a highly anticipated book. Okay, people love that series, which I'm grateful for. People love that series, so we want to finish that. Also, them Sports Brothers, the Matthew brothers. Listen, if you have read Maybe I Need You and Maybe I Love You, thank you. Okay, thank you for showing the Matthew brothers so much love, so much more love that I ever knew that you guys were going to show them. Okay, Grayson, Maybe I Love You. It was just a passion project. I was like, hey, I want to write a sports romance, but I want to write about sports that I don't really see a lot of authors writing about, a lot of Black authors writing about, because I write Black romance. And I say, you know what? We're going to write a soccer player, Black people play soccer. And Grayson has showed up and showed out. That is the book that I have the most reviews on, which is awesome. And then Donovan, who is a professional golfer, and his best friend Ivory. We got Best Friends to Lovers. We got Fake Dating for book 1. Book 2 is Best Friends to Lovers. Okay. And book 3, Braylon. The girlies, the girlies, the gays and the zays, they're like, hey, where is Braylon? What's he doing? As of today, Braylon is still training for the Olympics. Okay. That's what he's doing right now. But his book will be written this year. So the last book in the Finding My Way series, the last book in the Undeniably in Love series, book 2, is the Black and Mafia Coven series, which is my Vampire Mafia series. Okay. I'm very excited about that. I'm excited about those characters, those people. So really, those are the 3 books that I will be writing this year and I will be releasing. I am pretty much a 3-book series kind of girl. Usually that's how I like to kind of, I guess, structure my series. I don't like too long series, and I like threes. I don't know. I like 3 friends, 3 siblings, whoever you are, 3. Okay. I think 3 is a good number. 3 is something that I can keep up with. So those are my series. Most likely, I love series. I love interconnected standalone series. So you will get more series from me. Usually I'm a found family um or big family kind of author. So my characters are never really alone. They either find their family or they already have family. So that's usually how I know if a book is going to be a part of a series or not, because either they need friends or their family members need love. Just depends on what's going on. Okay. That's it. So I those are my plans for this year as far as my indie book releases are concerned. Right now, we are also working on a book that I want to be traditionally published. It is a YA romance. It's a YA fake dating romance. I'm gonna give you guys just a little bit more, okay? I've been pretty hush hush about the project. If you have been following me on other social media platforms, I've talked about that book, but we are, I've been keeping it the details pretty close to the chest, okay? But we've been, pretty hush hush about that project because it is very important to me. I don't want to give too much away. I don't want nobody to steal my ideas. And I know you're probably thinking, who gonna steal your ideas? People. I don't know. I'm just a little paranoid Patty about that project. Okay. I'm pretty hush hush about my books until we start marketing, because once we start marketing the books, I mean the books are already at least halfway done. Halfway to like 80% done in it, and it will be coming out in the foreseeable future. So because that YA fake dating romance is going straight to trad publishing, um, it's a top priority for me in quarter one. Okay, so quarter one, the book two in the Vampire Mafia series, and then my first trad book. I don't have an agent, y'all. I ain't got one. But you gotta write the book first. You gotta write most times you gotta write the book first, then you find an agent for the most part. So that's where we are. We're writing so we can get the agent. So those are really my plan is to write every day. Sometimes that's 3,000 words, sometimes that's 300 words. I don't want to prioritize writing over my mental health and over my physical health this year. So we are getting back into dance. Okay. Here are some pictures of me, videos, montages of me dancing over the years. If you are new here or new to me, I used to want to be one of Beyonce's backup dancers. I say it in interviews. Anytime people ask me when I knew I wanted to be a writer, I did not want to be a writer. Writing was my backup goal. Okay. Shout out to my mother for being like, girl, we don't have money. We don't have dance tuition, but we do have community college tuition. Okay, so you can go there and you can figure out something. Okay, I used to write on Wattpad, so that is where my love for writing has started. My love, I've always been a reader from as long as I can remember. Okay, so my goals are to write Monday through Friday, really Monday through Saturday. Sunday is my rest day. Sunday is church. Sunday is preparing for the week. Sunday is reading. Sunday is dance. Okay, Saturday is dance. I might even go to some dance classes on a Friday. Okay, it just depends on what's going on. But we are prioritizing rest as much as work this year. Don't really know how that's going to pan out, but we're going to see. Okay, I'm going to take you guys along for the ride, along for the journey. I don't want to rush anything this year, so we will be marketing my books longer for at least 2 months. 2 months of marketing at minimum. Um, building pre-orders. Building pre-orders. Have just spending a little more time marketing so that when the book releases, they do well. Okay, because again, it's not a race. It's not a race. I'm not racing anymore. Okay, I have 8 books out right now. I have 8 books in print right now. 7 books. I mean, sorry, 8 books in print, 9 ebooks right now. So we have a lot of books, okay? We have a lot of books that you guys can go and read, you can buy, you can reread, you can support, and if you want to, in whatever capacity you may want to. But I will not be I just don't have it in me this year, y'all. I ain't got it in me this year to run this like endless rat race of writing, releasing, writing, releasing. And that's never been me anyway. But I've always like, let me write this book as fast as I can. I ain't doing that. No, I'm not doing it this year, y'all. I'm not. The books will get written when they get written, and they will come out when I feel as though they are ready to come out. So those are my writing goals. Okay. My realistic 2026 writing goals for this year. Again, we got 8 books in print. We really got 10 ebooks because we got a free book. We got one free book. And then we have we have another Christmas book. So yeah, we got 10 books that you guys can go and read. If you're like, hey, I just want to read whatever you're working on, join my Patreon. I have a Patreon. Okay. The link will be in the description box. So those are my goals. Writers, what are your goals for this year? As far as, writing. Authors, what are your goals for this year as far as releasing? I am an author who is multifaceted, so I have other things that I'm doing. I'm traveling this year. I have a mentorship. So it's more than just me writing and releasing books. Okay. I'm also very blessed to be a traveling author. So, that means I gotta go to book events. I get to go to book events. I get to meet readers in person. Um, you know, so there are so many things that, being an author sometimes means juggling. And this is a part of the juggle for me as an author. So, yes, that is my goal for this year. Okay. I wanted to get this video out pretty much at the top of the year. This video will probably come out today because I kind of just, want to edit it today. Today is January 6th. So I want to edit it and I want to put it out there, and I want it to be known that this is what we're doing this year. Okay. This is what we're doing. This is how we doing it. And yeah, so write what your goals are in the comments down below. Let's talk, let's chat, and be sure to follow me on other social media platforms. If you want to keep up with my day to day, I daily post on my stories on Instagram. I'm on Instagram every day, you know. But we will get into I'll make another video about my overall 2026 goals. Those were just like my writing goals because we have more goals that are, a little bit outside of writing. But thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. And yeah, all right, bye.